Today's topic, my boyfriend doesn't love me. And this is a common theme for women who ask me for help in Skype coaching sessions. I've coached a lot of women who had the feeling that their boyfriends or their husbands don't love them anymore. And often this feeling doesn't really represent reality. And that's why I invite you to ask yourself different questions, or let's say why I want to ask you different questions that you can then ask yourself. And of course, I don't know your specific situation. I don't know anything about your relationship, and that's why I can't give you advice that's specifically tailored on your situation. But if you want to work with me in a Skype coaching session, which is something that you can do if you go to gethimkeephim.com/Skype, or you click on the second link in the description, then I can of course give you advice that's specifically tailored to your needs and to your situation that you are in right now. But for now, I want you to think about these very general questions that then show you if your boyfriend still loves you or if he doesn't love you anymore. And the first question you might want to ask yourself is, does he really not love you, or do you just have the feeling that he doesn't love you? A lot of people have this problem in relationships, and that's true for men and women, that we tend to overthink. We overthink all the time. When he's out with his buddies, you think to yourself, does he really love me? Does he not want to spend time with me? Or when he's out with his buddies, you think to yourself, does he talk to other women? Does he not love me anymore? And these are just ways how your mind plays a trick on you, a very negative trick, by the way, that can in fact destroy your relationship. So instead of listening to your mind, have an open and honest conversation with your boyfriend, and then you can find out very easily if some of the love that he felt for you is already gone, or if he still loves you very, very much. And has he been hurt in the past? Maybe he avoids showing emotions because he has past trauma. Maybe he's been cheated on. Maybe he's been betrayed. Maybe something happened in his past relationship that made him feel really hurt. And now he's in this position where he's afraid to show emotions. And that's why you might have the feeling that he doesn't love you, even though he just can't express it, or he doesn't allow himself to express his emotions fully. And does childhood trauma make it hard for him to trust you and to open up and to show you how much he loves you? And that's something that I can share with you from my own personal experience. I was born with a congenital heart defect, and I had a heart surgery as a baby. And for a very long time, I didn't know that my heart surgery back then resulted in trauma, which then led to me to a journey of healing, trauma healing, and falling in love with myself and my life. But back as a baby, when I was in the situation that my parents had to give me to the doctors to basically cut me open and put needles in me and hurt me, all these, you can say, physical sensations, but also the emotional pain of not being able to be held in the arms of my mother, as an example, because my parents weren't allowed to touch me because I was born too early, or prematurely, how it's called, and then I had the heart condition, so I was really fragile. They weren't allowed to touch me. And as a result, I then developed this severe fear of abandonment, and at the same time also these trust issues, because back then my primary caretakers basically mistreated my trust as a baby. And of course, logically speaking, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, I have a wonderful relationship with my parents. I have the most loving parents in the world. But our subconscious mind saves these early memories as traumatic experiences. And this can, in fact, also have a positive effect or a negative effect, depending on what you experience in your childhood, on your dating life later on. So maybe he has some childhood trauma that makes it hard for him to trust you. And again, just have an open conversation about it. And does it feel honest and authentic when he tells you that he loves you? Or does he say it in a way like, I love you, and you have the feeling that there's no emotion behind it? If that's the case, then you have to make him obsessed with you. Because yes, even though you might have the feeling that your boyfriend doesn't love you anymore, and even though it might also be true that the love he feels for you has gotten a little bit less, then you can still rescue the situation, you can still make him obsessed with you. And if you want to find out how some of my most successful Skype coaching clients made their man obsessed with them, then you can click on the first link in the description or go to gethimkeephim.com/obsession. And is he just emotionally unavailable, like so many men? Men are conditioned from a young age that boys don't cry, man up, don't show any tears. And nowadays, with all this toxic advice for men, especially this area that's called the manosphere, where all these men tell other men, which is, I think, very terrible, that they tell other men, you can't show emotions to women. If you show emotions to women, then they will leave you, which is, of course, complete nonsense. You and me, we both know that, because the basis of every authentic and honest relationship that is based on trust and mutual support is to show your emotions in an honest way. And the same is true for me, for example, in my relationship with my girlfriend. Yes, I sometimes cry. Does she leave me because of that? Of course not. It just brings us closer together. And the same is true if she shows her emotions. And I'm 100% sure, or at least 99% sure, that you also want a relationship that is based on two people who trust each other and who share their emotions openly. The more you communicate to him that you are okay and actually encourage him to share his emotions, the more he will show you how much he really loves you. And does he still put effort in the relationship? Or if he doesn't put any effort in the relationship, is it because he doesn't love you anymore? Or because he thinks that everything is just going fine? You know, there's one thing you need to know about men. Men tend to get very lazy in a relationship, and I know it's a big mistake, but a lot of men fall into this trap, and I have to be honest, I also fell into this trap. I'm very much married to my work. You can say I run multiple businesses. I'm quite successful in what I'm doing, and sometimes my girlfriend has to remind me, hey, we could go out again, huh? You spend too much time on your laptop. And I appreciate that, because I, as an introvert, and then also as an introvert who loves his work, I mean, I could spend all day long in my apartment working on something and then relaxing. But that doesn't mean that I don't love my girlfriend. It just means that I have some priorities in my life and that I am a certain type of way from my personality. And the same might be true for the man that you are dating. But you have to honestly ask yourself, has he ever disrespected you or treated you in a bad way? If there's any sign of emotional or physical abuse, and especially if it's repeated emotional or physical abuse, then you have to get out of this relationship. And if you don't know how to get out of this relationship, or if you have the feeling that he still loves you and you want to improve your relationship and maybe even rescue your relationship, then you can click on the second link in the description or go to gethimkeephim.com/Skype and inquire for a Skype coaching session with me. I've helped so many women to improve their relationship, and I would be honored if I could also help you. And if you enjoyed watching this video, if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and leave a comment in the comment section below. Share your opinion, share your thoughts. I would love to hear from you. And I would love it even more if you would hit the subscribe button and smash that notification bell so that you get notified whenever I release a new video for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video.